Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a conversation about the mundane. One thing that we can promise is that our conversation will be less than fascinating so that you can just drift off. Thank you for joining us. We hope you will listen and sleep. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
And I'm your co-host, Nidhi Khanna.
And we invite you to rate us and leave a comment on iTunes, as we love that, and it only helps our podcast.
It does. And you can also tweet at us at Listen and Sleep. Marco, when you think of the word air, what is the first image that pops into your mind?
I guess wind.
Really?
Air,
Okay.
no, wind.
Yeah. I think of oxygen, yeah.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Breathing.
Sure.
This is the air episode,
Yes,
if you
'cause
haven't already guessed it, listeners.
We had a water episode, a fire episode, and we thought it only appropriate to have an air episode, since those are the three elements. Well, I guess earth. We should have an earth episode too, because that'll
Yes.
be coming because
Future episode on
Yeah.
Earth. But for now, we're going to talk about air.
sure.
What are the elements in air? Do you know?
Oh, I have no idea.
Like atmospheric, I don't know. In the
Oxygen,
atmosphere.
nitrogen. I think it's made primarily of nitrogen, isn't it? There's more nitrogen molecules in the air that we breathe, our atmosphere, than on other planets. I don't know. Help me out, Nidhi.
That's
You're looking at me in a strange way, so I
well,
think
I don't
I'm
know.
wrong.
I was trying to figure out where you were going with that sentence, really.
I know there's a plenitude of nitrogen in the oxygen that we breathe. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean,
Not the oxygen in the
air that we breathe.
the air that we breathe.
Atmosphere in the air. Yeah, and it makes me think of a song that has that lyric, "In the air that we breathe," which makes me think of the band Air. Was there not a band in Air?
I don't know a band named Air.
Okay.
I know there was a band named Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Well, maybe it's that.
And I know that Phil Collins sang a song called "In the Air Tonight."
Of course.
But this other band, Air Supply.
No, it's a French band, apparently.
Okay, I know Air Supply.
Apparently. Air
Okay.
Supply. Maybe I was thinking about Air Supply.
Perhaps.
I was probably thinking about
You
Air
weren't
Supply.
thinking of the French band Air.
No, because I just found that when I Googled
Okay.
air.
But so, what is our
Atmospheric
air made up of?
air. Okay.
Nidhi's going to be looking at that. Other things that I think of when I think of air is I think of, blowing a balloon and, versus, say, using helium to make the balloon float up. I also remember as a kid watching a magician or some sort of, I don't know if he was a magician, but he was someone who would make giant bubbles, you could make those giant bubbles, and what he would do is inside a giant bubble, he'd blow another bubble, but when he blew that bubble into the giant bubble, with soapy water or whatever they use, he was smoking a cigarette, so he would blow smoke into the bubble that was inside the bubble. So what happens is the smoke gets trapped in the bubble, and you see this light gray swirling smoke trapped inside a bubble. Now, I remember it as a kid, and I remember it to this day.
Did you ever play air guitar?
Oh, I'm sure I have. I remember going to see friends in an air guitar
Competition
or something.
Yeah, that's always, what did you think about that when they were like, come to my air guitar competition?
It was fine for the first 2 minutes, and then it was people just lip syncing and air guitaring to music, and I was like, oh, this isn't for me.
What's like a good air guitar song really, needs to have that solo piece
Sure.
to it, right? Like Thunder, for example.
Right.
AC/DC is a good air guitar song.
I feel like Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, the beginning, the guitar is really intense.
Okay.
Yeah.
To get back to your atmosphere of the Earth,
The composition,
the
I guess?
composition of
Sure.
the Earth's atmosphere, you are indeed correct. Nitrogen is about 78% of the Earth's atmosphere.
There you go. I remember that from one of my class. 78, you said?
78, and oxygen is like is 20%. And then, hold on.
Because have you ever gone to an oxygen bar where they give you pure oxygen to breathe?
No,
They were popular
I
at one
haven't.
point. So,
I haven't. I feel like this is like the floating tanks, you know, the same type of thing.
Right.
It's like I gotta pay for oxygen now.
yeah, they give you pure oxygen, and supposedly a lot of people feel lighter or they feel more, what's the word, like rejuvenated. I did it, Nidhi, and they can put flavors in it too, which sounds weird. So you could get like, you pick your like green apple scent, or I think I picked lavender, and
How was it?
did nothing for me. The plastic tubes that go in your nose kind of irritated me, and that's about it.
Oh.
Like irritated, like not irritated me, but you know how it's.
So was it like an oxygen? Did they wheel out an oxygen tank full of like lavender flavored
No,
oxygen?
as I remember it, and this was years ago, you sat at a little bar, and they had all these tubes. I guess the tanks were underneath the bar, and they had all these little tubes, and they were like, okay, here, like, use this tube, put it in your nose. It was like a hygienic one, so they would replace that part of the tube depending on who was the new client. And they then asked me what scent or flavor I wanted. I think flavor is the wrong word. I guess scent. And I think I said lavender, if that was one of the flavors or scents. And away we went. And I paid for 15 minutes, and it did nothing for me.
Do you remember how much it cost for those 15
Oh,
minutes?
this was years ago. I don't remember. I feel like I did it at an airport.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it was at an airport, and you know, you have got that time to kill, and you're like, what are you going to do? And sure enough, you know what else I've done? Have you ever seen those tanks where people put their feet in and the little fish sort of nibble away at your calluses and stuff?
Oh,
and
yeah, it's like this weird pedicure thing
Yeah.
that is, yeah.
I've done that.
Really?
In Thailand.
How was that experience?
That was interesting because as soon as I put my feet in, and they all sort of like, and the tank that I did had hundreds of fish in it. It wasn't like some of the, you know, tanks that you see at beauty parlors in Beverly Hills that have like a handful of fish. No, this had hundreds. And as soon as they attacked my feet, I felt a little nauseous. It was a really odd sensation. It made me feel a little bit, I wouldn't say queasy, but a little bit like, ooh, this is not so much fun. But then you get used to it, and it's like fine. But it's a very interesting, different sort of feeling. Hard to describe because people are like, what does it feel like? Little pinches? It's like, no, it just feels like pressure from a million different places on your feet, and not hard pressure, but like a sort of constant sort of rubbing in different areas.
Are you ticklish on your feet?
No, I don't think I am. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe that's why it was bothersome. But anyways, that's another one of those unusual things, like the oxygen bar that I went to. This was like a plunge your feet in a fish tank.
So I need to ask how your feet felt after the fish tank experience.
They looked kind of marginally better. I don't think it was enough. Like, I think if you go to an actual pedicurist,
Yeah.
you get a better job than what the actual fish do.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's more like, oh, look at all these fish nibbling at me. It was kind of one of those. I think it was a waste of. Doing it once is great, but then it becomes a little bit of a waste of time, or a waste of money, I should say.
So if you so sometimes I think about the elements and I think about the superpowers that are associated with each element.
Oh.
So for example, I mean, when we did the fire episode, obviously,
Right.
you know, you think of maybe Superman's laser vision
Sure.
or other
Water, you would think of Aquaman's ability.
Aquaman, sure. Earth, I'm not really sure who would have what particularly, but air, of course, you think of flying, maybe, you know?
I think of Storm,
Oh, of Storm, okay. That makes sense.
because she manipulates weather and atmospheric change and whatnot,
Yeah,
right?
good point.
But flying would be right, too.
Yeah. So if you could have a particular superpower that's based on the elements, what would it be?
Oh, that's great. Well, I don't think it would be flying, because I'm scared of heights. I'd like to have Aquaman's water abilities and stuff, because I think,
Because you can't swim.
and I can't swim, but that's the one I'd want.
You'd really... Oh, really? Why? Why would you want that one?
Well, of all the superheroes as a kid, Aquaman was my favorite. And I think it stems from the fact that I wanted to be a marine biologist. Prior to that, I wanted to be a fisherman. So I always had a fascination for the sea and sea creatures. And so that's probably why it stems from that. And I don't know where that all came from, because there's no fishermen in my family, and really, like, you know.
And fisherman is one of those career choices that kind of, you base it on someone else's career path. It's very rare that someone is just randomly, you know, like, I'm going to be a fisherman.
I doubt that there's, you know, high school student counselors or guidance counselors who recommend becoming a fisherman as your career.
Fair enough. You know, my superpower, I feel like I'd want, I don't know, actually. I'd kind of want...
You'd make a great storm if you were ever
Yeah, I
looking
probably would. But I don't know.
What?
If I were to, like, get into a temper situation,
right,
I might cause, like, a tsunami or something.
Fair. So, when I was working on a cruise ship, they had what they would do is, for the staff that worked on the cruise ship, they'd have, like, these fun nights where we would all meet at a bar that was closed off to the general public, and the staff would go and have a fun night. So it might be like a Hawaiian themed night or whatever, or like Halloween. They'd have like anyways, one night they had superhero night, so you had to dress up like a superhero, and it was on the top deck bar.
Oh, okay.
So it was outside on the highest level. It wasn't actually even a bar, it was just an area that was on the top part of the ship.
So it was very airy.
It was extremely airy. So what was my superhero? Oh, I dressed as Snape from the Harry Potter series.
Of course you did.
Amanda dressed as Wonder Woman.
Amazing.
And so, you know, we were with all the performers. Every performer really got into it.
Before you continue, you're on a cruise ship.
Right.
Where did you find your costumes?
Oh, that's a great question. That's a really great question. So we would dock every week in New York City. And so we'd have about a day in New York while passengers were getting on or getting off and then getting on to our ship. So we had a day in New York, and we went and scoured different areas of New York to get our costumes.
Oh, so you knew there was going to be a costume.
We knew it was,
okay.
So you know way beforehand, like, you know that, okay, on the 15th, we're going to have a superhero night.
Got it.
Get ready, kind of thing. So I obviously got a black wig that looked like Snape, and I think I got a wand, or I made a wand, and there you go.
And this was at the height of the Harry Potter craze?
Yes, the last book had just come out.
Okay.
But the point is, one of the singers dressed as Storm. So she had, like, white cotton hair. I think she just got a lot of cotton batting, so she got cotton hair. It was like this white hair. And then she had all this cotton batting all over her bodysuit or whatever, to mimic, I don't know what, but it was like all this cotton batting. Well, when she stepped onto the area where we were, the wind up there was so great, because we were on the top, that her hair blew off her head.
Oh no.
And then all her costume, and I feel like it was cotton or whatever, but there was like, all her costume started to blow off her.
Oh no.
So at the end of, within 5 minutes, her costume was gone. Oh, and all she had left was just a bodysuit that was under the costume. And I was luckily enough to, and what was funny was she came out, and it was kind of windy, so she was pretending to be Storm, like she was like getting into all these positions, pretending to be Storm, until it got so windy that her entire costume blew off. It was fantastic.
Oh, poor girl.
Mom, Dad, I'm not throwing shade, but the whole New Year's resolution thing, kind of slipping, no offense. Anyway, my best friend Jenny's dad, crushing it. He uses Blue Apron. He says he ordered one-pan assemble and bake meals and these things called meal kits. They're all super easy to make. He keeps yelling, protein and fiber, baby. Also, the food, we tried it. So good. So maybe check it out or whatever. Blue Apron. Get $50 off your first 2 orders plus free shipping with code STIR50. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Taste the Mediterranean at Whole Foods Market with a vibrant selection that captures the flavors of the region. Shop coastal favorites like responsibly farmed whole bronzini and jumbo white shrimp, and pair them with specialty pastas, robust olive oils, and aromatic sauces directly sourced from the Mediterranean. Want a fast and easy dinner? Grab refreshing Greek salads and tortellini from the prepared foods department. Taste the Mediterranean now at Whole Foods Market.
Fiscally responsible, financial genius, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds, because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it. So your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.
You know what else you can make with air is popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause you have warm air that causes the popcorn
to pop. Now, we just had some really wild popcorn before recording this episode, which was like caramel cashew popcorn or something like that.
I prefer sweet popcorn. You know how you can get it with sweet or with savory? And there's the Chicago mix, which mixes both the sweet and the savory. I think it's like a cheddar and a caramel popcorn.
Yeah, that Chicago mix is amazing and deadly at the same time.
I just eat the sweet part.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh.
I don't like the combination of the two.
I like kettle corn because I like the combination of like sweet and salty. But I just like popcorn. Actually,
do you like popcorn?
I do. I do. It's not something that I like. It's not a go-to that I'm like, oh, popcorn.
Sure.
But when it's around, I thoroughly enjoy it.
I think when I was 15, I worked at a movie theater. It was at I don't know if you've ever been to this mall, Nidhi, but it was the Woodbine Center. Are you familiar with that mall?
I am not.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not, but please do describe it.
Well, at the time, it was quite the mall, and it had a little, what do you call it? Like a theme park within the mall, I guess. It had a Ferris wheel. It had a train that took you around. I feel like it had swings that would, you know, those swings that you kind of rise and then it swings you around. There's a bunch of you on it. It had all these crazy things. And I was an usher at a theater at the Woodbine Mall. And I'd come home smelling like popcorn. And there was so much popcorn around that I just got sick of popcorn. So I really don't, it's not my go-to. And I'll always be like, when we go to the movies, I'll never really buy popcorn.
Really?
Sometimes I'll have some of whoever's with me. I'll share some of theirs, but really I could do without. I prefer candies and things like that. How about you? Do you?
It scarred you that much, hey?
I guess. Do you? And I know that's many, many years later. Do you get popcorn when you go to the movies?
I do. I get popcorn. I don't usually get like the butter on the popcorn. I find it messes with everything. Okay. And then you have greasy hands, etc. So I do like it if I get popcorn and whoever I'm with gets some candy, because that's a nice little savory and sweet option. Sure. But I don't really like movie theater popcorn either. Oh, no. No, I find it too salty. But I like, those what is it called, Kernels, or any of those specialty popcorn stores where you can get flavors. Yeah, but I have expensive taste.
Oh, there you go. And you can tell by the popcorn she chooses.
Exactly. You can tell a lot about a girl by the popcorn she chooses.
Really? See, I never thought, but that makes a lot of sense. It's like, so, I mean, our podcast is to help people relax, but gentlemen, or ladies, if you want to know something about the woman you happen to be with, take a look at the popcorn that she chooses, and then make your
assessment from there.
Let us know.
Life advice.
Let us know what those popcorn
the Insomnia Project
flavors tell you.
We're the new Tinder, apparently.
I guess. So have you ever done some of these fun air things? Like, have you ever parachuted or glided or whatever?
Right. This is great. So, bucket list. I would like to say that I want to skydive.
Okay.
In my heart, I want to.
Sure.
In my head, I know I would never actually jump.
Okay.
It just wouldn't happen. Even though I really, really want to. But I've never been one to be like, let me go bungee jumping.
Right.
However, I would be intrigued in a hot air balloon.
Okay.
Possibly.
Sure.
Possibly.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, it's a bucket list. Like, if I had the
So
opportunity...
what's the bucket list? The hot air balloon, gentle gliding in the air, or the jumping out of a plane with a parachute?
So they're all...
Because you're like, bucket list, but you haven't said which one.
So, no, because they're all kind of on the bucket list.
Okay.
But whether or not I would actually fulfill the bucket list if I was given an opportunity,
Sure.
I'm not sure.
No desire to jump out of a plane. I'm scared of heights. No desire to... Now, have you ever seen this? Well, I mean, I shouldn't say no desire to in a hot air balloon, because I think I would do that. But have you ever seen these new things where it's like skydiving in an enclosed like area? Like it's a kind of like...
See, that I would do.
Because Amanda wants to do that. She's like, I want to do that. We drive by it. I think it's in Mississauga, and it's like this. Mm-hmm. So here's what I think you do. I'm just going to repeat this as many times until it's clear in my head. You put on a puffy suit. They turn on these mega fans underneath you. You jump into the air, and you just let you float. And then you move your hands and feet around till you I don't know what. But
I think this would be the perfect activity for your birthday.
No.
Why?
Amanda wants to do it, so we'll do it for hers. I don't know if I want to do that. Like,
Why? What are you like? Because you're not actually in the air, right?
But it blows you up high.
Oh, does it?
I think it does. I don't know how many feet it goes up, but...
But then what happens when the air stops? Do you just fall down?
No, they slowly lower the air. I've never done it. I'm just assuming. I'm making these... It sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. But it is a air sport. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen those people who, like... They're kind of on a, like, surfboard with the parachute attached to them? Like a... What's it called? Windsurfing?
Oh, right.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
They've got newfangled ones. So there's windsurfing, and then there's this one where you kind of have like a
glider type
like
thing?
a kite parachute type looking thing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And then you're on a board in the water, and the air will kind of lift you and the board up.
Yeah.
And you can do all these like fun tricks and stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any desire to do that.
No.
We're not adventurous when it comes to air.
I don't think air is the element that we like,
No.
Air is not an element.
It's really not.
I'm trying to think of more air stuff. Like,
I enjoy an air show every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I recently moved into a new place, as you know, and there is an air show by the water that happens every summer. And so it was really cool this year to actually see some of them practicing.
Sure.
It was incredibly noisy, but I like the flyovers. I've been to I can't remember if it was F1 or Indy or something like that, and they did a flyover as well, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
So I like air shows.
Sure. Air shows are fun.
Because I'm on the ground and not in the air,
right,
particularly.
Right. I've been in a helicopter. Have you ever been in a helicopter?
No, what was that like?
It was cool.
Is it okay? Because we both kind of have a little bit a thing with flying and height. So, being in a helicopter, is it different from being in a plane in terms of the feelings you get?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, because first it's much smaller than most commercial planes that people go on, and you can see everywhere around you, because this was a helicopter that flew over like a park, so that you could see the changing colors of the leaves during fall, and so you see all perspectives, and it's noisy and just cool. I wanted to ask you about kites. Do you enjoy flying kites, or what do you remember about flying kites?
I was never a good kite flyer. Mm-hmm. I don't even recall really ever flying one or getting it off the ground. Like, I think I may have done it as part of a school project. You know how you used to have those arts and craft projects?
Sure.
And one of them was like, let's make a kite.
Right.
I don't think my kite ever went anywhere. How about you? You used to be really good at this.
No. I just remember. You know what? I think on the episode that we did with Nug, I talked about kites and there's like a black bat kite.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
I don't know, but certainly there's an episode where we talk about that. But I always wanted to fly a triangle or a diamond shaped kite, like when kids draw them. And I think I tried to make one once, and the thing would not fly. It was like, what is this horrible diamond thing? And then when I was a kid, the kites that you would get in the little kit were kind of triangular, and one was called the black bat, and it was black with 2 yellow eyes, and it looked kind of like a bat. They're fun for me for the first 5 minutes, and then that's it. But what I wanted to say, which was during the helicopter part, was a lot of people listen to our podcast when they fly. Do you know that, Nidhi?
We've gotten a little bit of feedback about that too.
Yeah, they say it really helps them. Yeah, so
which is good. I listened to our podcast when I was flying,
and
I enjoyed it because, as you know, I can actually sleep.
While
weirdly enough, no, to our podcast.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know why. I can say, like, in terms of hearing my own voice.
Right. You're able to listen and
yeah, because I know when you listen to our podcast, you can't.
No, because I'm judging what I say. But
right. I have no judgment here.
There you go. And so you listened to it on your flight?
I did, and it was really good. You know what, I don't think I fell asleep, but it definitely relaxed me because I'm a nervous flyer. I was also thinking when you were talking about flying a kite, I know there was an episode that we did, like, idioms.
Okay, yeah.
And it made me think of the idiom, go fly a kite. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. Between a balloon and a kite, though, aren't they essentially the same, like, nonsensical children's toy?
I guess. I see what you're saying. But, I remember when I was in Florida, my nephew, Danny, and us, not just myself, it was my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my wife, we were all helping him to fly a kite. And I feel like it was a Iron Man kite. I'm going to say it was an Iron Man kite. Yeah, it was really cool. I have to say, so much cooler than the kites I remember. And being on the beach flying a kite with a little kid is pretty awesome.
Is it?
It's awesome. It's awesome. Because they're enjoying it. You're on the beach. There's oftentimes a nice wind there. And especially with your whole family, it was a lot of fun. Just picture, like, some of the families lying on blankets. Some of us are running around with a kite. Everyone's giving our nephew directions on what to do and pull hard and whatnot. And then you see the kite kind of nosedive and everybody's oohing and eyeing, and it was a lot of fun. So I think a kite at the beach with a kid is the best place to be kite flying.
Fair enough.
Have you ever seen those box kites?
No.
They kind of look boxy on both ends.
Oh, wait, no, I think you have described this to me.
I think it was on the episode.
We must have done an episode because this is sounding very familiar to me.
Well, then on that case, we should probably end the air episode since we're kind of weaving our way back to a past episode. We want to thank you for listening to our series on the elements, which kind of just came
out of nowhere. But we will be doing an episode on Earth soon enough. So until then, we want to thank you for listening.
And if you have any suggestions for shows that you want us to do, please tweet us at Listen and Sleep with your show idea, and we'll be happy to discuss what we know about any random topic you might have.
As always, we're produced by Drumcast Productions, and we were recording from Toronto, Canada tonight. Thank you, and until the next time, we hope you listen and sleep.